Hi, I'm Regina.
And I'm Lauren, and this is your behavior tip of the week. Our topic for today's behavior tip of the week is reinforcement.
So, what is reinforcement? Some key understanding: reinforcement is a consequence that occurs contingent on a specific behavior and it increases behavior in the future. A consequence is anything that occurs after a behavior. It can be positive, it could be negative, or neutral. Contingent is it happens because a preset of rules were met. And increases, the behavior will occur again or happen more in the future.
All right, so let's look at two different types of reinforcers. So we have primary reinforcers, and these primary reinforcers meet our basic human needs. Primary reinforcers are things like food, drink, warmth, and coolness. These are things that are naturally reinforcing to us, so we don't have to be taught to like these things. Secondary reinforcers are things that become reinforcers through learning. So I learn that this is something that I like. I learn that this is something that can be valuable or desirable. When this is paired with desirable things, we learned it was reinforcing. So the example down at the bottom, our primary reinforcer is food, right? It aids us in survival. We all need it. That's how we stay alive. But our secondary reinforcer is the money that we use to buy the food. So money in and of itself may not be reinforcing, but once we learn that the money helps us buy the food, it becomes a reinforcer.
Yep. Okay, so not all reinforcement costs money. There is free reinforcement. So for example, social reinforcement, high fives, any kind of praise, positive call outs, etc. Time to talk with peers, listening to music with peers, time to talk with the teacher, or maybe even just a positive call home to mom and dad. There is activity reinforcement. So getting to play a game outside, maybe going for extra recess, doing an activity with a preferred peer or an adult, exercise, classroom games, and maybe just watching a video. And then there's, of course, our classroom-based reinforcers. So having a special class job, maybe I just want to be the helper that day. That's a pretty easy one to give a student, and it's absolutely free. Tell the class a joke. That's approved by the teacher, of course, beforehand. A homework pass. Maybe there's a special teacher chair the student wants to sit in, or maybe a lunch break with the teacher.
Lots of awesome ideas. And this is by no means a comprehensive list, but just some things we want you to think about as you're thinking about how I can use reinforcement in the classroom. And the most important thing when you're using reinforcement, whether it's any of these things, is to keep it fresh, switch it up. So try different things. Think about things that maybe you don't initially think about as a reinforcer, but maybe be interesting for your students. And when you keep it fresh and switch it up, your students are going to be motivated and more likely to work for you.
And don't be afraid to ask your students
what
they want.
All right. Thank you for joining us for our behavior tip of the week. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.